Hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to and live Manchester United news, transfer news, and update show. Reports coming in that Manchester United can secretly spend and do some deals in January. Bruno Fernandes could be leaving Manchester United in 2026 and has a relatively low release clause. Elliot Anderson, some big news coming on. Elliot Anderson confirmed to be Man United's number one transfer target, not belabor Elliot Anderson, but City ready to challenge United to Elliot Anderson. City may push for Elliot Anderson in January to fight off competition. Can Manchester United step up and beat Man City to Elliot Anderson? I'd like to think so, but who knows? If we have another bad season, it could be difficult. We're going to talk about the latest on Bruno, his release clause that's been revealed. João Gomez, there's rumours that Man United are working on a deal for João Gomez and he's going to come in January. David Ornstein has sort of closed that down a little bit. We've got updates on JJ Gabriel and a number of young players that are involved in training. It's been confirmed United can secretly do some business in January. They're in a better PSR position than they let known. But obviously big updates on Elliot Anderson coming in from The Athletic, a very good source of information, as well as David Ornstein dropping a big update on Elliot Anderson, but also some frustrating updates that Manchester City are willing to go all out for Elliot Anderson. So hopefully we can stop that, and also updates on Cunha's injury. So hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your live Manchester United news, transfer news, and update show, where we're going to discuss all the latest Manchester United news in today's live show. Elliot Anderson is a must. Elliot Anderson is absolutely a must. We must do everything for him. He must be our number one transfer target. I'm saying that right now. So please do it. But before we get into Elliot Anderson, I want to get into a few of the other stories. Matheus Cunha won't be available this weekend. Harry Maguire and Benjamin Sesko are still out, which is a bit of a blow. I think we really missed Cunha last game. I'm not saying we would have scored or would have won with Cunha, but I think we really missed Cunha last game. His hold up. I like Xerxes, and the thing with Xerxes, and people are going to give him stick, but Xerxes needs a run of games. Like, do I think Xerxes had the best game at the week last week? No, but Xerxes needs a run of games. That's the thing. He's not played all season. Xerxes will probably need 3-4 starts in a row before we see the Xerxes that we know he can be. And I don't know, if we can fully give him that. But we do miss Cunha. Cunha, we missed him. We didn't really have anyone attacking to come off the bench. I'd quite like to see, and it won't happen because Amarim won't do it, but Bruno to be a 10, Xerxes to be the striker, and Bruno to be the other 10, Ahmad back at wing back, and put Maino in the pivot with Casemiro. I think our best bet versus Palace is Maino in the pivot with Casemiro, Ahmad back at wing back, Bruno goes higher up. He won't do it. He'll play Bruno Casemiro, he'll put Mount higher up, or he'll have Ahmad higher up, and we'll have two bloody fullbacks at wing back again. That's what he'll do. So Cunha being out at the same time as Sesko is really annoying, but Cunha is expected to be back for the midweek game. Maguire out, Yoro can come in, that's fine. Yoro did have a bad week last week. He looked a bit rusty. But the thing with Lenny Yoro is, if he doesn't play for a bit and you throw him in a game, he looks rusty. But when you give Lenny Yoro a couple games in a row, he looks really good. Like, I thought Lenny Yoro was quite good at the start of the season, had the bad game against City, then has been subbed in and out of the side and been a bit rusty, but we know what Lenny Yoro can do, and Sesko is still out. Now, Sesko is expected to return soon. Cunha should be back next week. But look, Crystal Palace is a difficult game, and I'm not super confident. Xerxes and Mbeumo and Mount should be the front three versus Palace. I can't believe I said Mount. To be fair, I'm open for Mount or Bruno to be in the front three. I want Ahmad back at wing back. But I'd quite like to just see Maino in the team given a run, and I think he's too talented to keep on the bench when our midfield is lacking control. So I'd rather move Bruno further up and give Maino a go, but I'm happy to see Mount with his pressing. The thing about Mason Mount is I like Mason Mount. His pressing is really valuable. He can be really good in some games, but then he can be a ghost in other games. And look, a lot of people predicting 3-1 Palace. The only reason I think we can get something is because Palace have had a game midweek. They're absolutely knackered. They've been struggling. Whenever they've had a Premier League game after a midweek game, they've struggled. So even though we never get a result versus Palace, even though our last meetings with Glasgow have not been good, and I can't remember the last time we won at Selhurst Park, Palace are a bogey team for us. I do think we should be more up for it. We should be more fresh for it. That said, I say we should be more up for a lot of our games that we're not up for. A lot of people aren't confident. But the thing is, whenever we think we're going to get a result, we don't get a result. I thought we were going to beat Forest. I thought we were going to beat Everton. As soon as Everton went down to 10, and I thought, that's 3 points for us. And it wasn't. Whenever I think we ain't winning this, we're more likely to win sometimes. Thank you very much for the super chat. Jeannie is here. Sorry, Alice. Right now, we're just an average Premier League team. A lot of improvement is needed. You don't need to say sorry. You're stating the truth. It's not nice to hear, but the standard that this club have got low. Some of this fan base are accepting ridiculously low standards. I've seen this fan base go, Ruben Amorim's our manager. We must accept whatever he does and get on with it. It's a long-term process. La la la. Not completely wrong. It is a long-term process. He's probably not going to be sacked tomorrow. We have to accept that. But I don't get this. If Ruben Amorim finishes 12th, I'm still backing him. I saw a tweet the other day. Came out, if Ruben Amorim finishes 12th, I'm still backing him. We must give him 5 seasons. The fans don't understand that he's going to need 5 seasons, even if it's 12th, 13th for a few years. No. You need to see progress. Ruben Amorim can finish 6th this season, and he can keep his job. Do you know what? You got top 6. I think we're top 6 squad. You've done well there. If Ruben Amorim finishes 12th this season, he's got to be sacked. Where are the standards? Look, we won. If we beat Everton, we're in 5th, and we're saying nice things. Because we didn't beat Everton, because the performance was shocking, it was tactically shocking, we're saying bad things about Amorim. With Amorim right now, 1 minute it's there, 1 minute it's there, 1 minute it's there, 1 minute it's there, okay? But take it away from Amorim, take it back to the squad. This squad should be finishing top 6. As long as we look like we can finish top 6, we should be okay. But we can't let the standards drop to 12th, 13th. What do you mean? You blind? Apparently, I'm toxic because I wouldn't blindlessly back the manager if we finished 13th. No, I'd want him gone if we finished 13th because I have standards. And right now, we're an average club. And I think we've got an above-average tide. I think we have a decent team. And I think that we need to be finishing in the top 6. And that should, I can take 8th or 7th if it's progress, if the football shows progressive signs, if I see signs of something at the end of the season to build upon. But I think we're good enough for top 6. We've got 1 game a week. And right now, we're very 10th. And we need to be looking like 6th, 5th. We need to be looking like a better side. We've been poor for a while. We've missed out on 5 points in the last 6 games, so it's not a huge amount. Well, actually, no, 3 points, 2 points, 7 points. 7 points. 12th. Where are your standards, Alice? If Ruben Amorim finishes outside the top 8, she'd be sacked. Exactly. No, I was reading out what someone else said. Someone said that I was toxic and that they would back Ruben Amorim as long as he got top 12. And apparently I'm toxic for expecting top 6 at bare minimum 8th. 8th with progressive signs on our play. I can take 8th if there's really good progressive signs in our play. 12th. So apparently 12th's a good season for us because it's progress 15th. I saw someone say to me the other day. Absolutely not. We've got to have high standards then. Well, 15th to 12th, we're up 3 places. Next season we'll come 9th. We're Manchester United. We'll spend a ridiculous amount of money. No, for me, I think we should be finishing in the top 6. I think we should be finishing in the top 6. And I just think we, have been too average for too long. And I'm all for giving the manager time because we can't keep sacking managers and going through this cycle. The manager's going to need time to make it work. But the manager's got to show us something. We can't just be bang average 10th place United. The manager's got to show he can push the top 4. And if he can push the top 4, he gets another season. You finish 6th this year. You finish 3rd next year. The year after, you go for the title. That's what I want to see. That's the progress. I'm not expecting him to go from 15th to 1st, 15th to 6th, 6th to 4th, 4th to 1st, example. Or 4th to challenging. Imagine 15th to 10th on your CV. It's not a good look, is it? It's not a good look. But I want to get into the news. I want to get into the updates. But I do think we have a team that's good enough to get top 6. And I've said that many times. Amorim will probably leave the club being the only coach with not a single positive thing left to be remembered by. Actually, he has got positive things to be remembered by. And that is getting rid of the bomb squad and bringing in, I think, the likes of Bruno. I think recruitment, yes. Tactically, less so. Anyway, let's get into the next few news and updates. Elliot Anderson. So as you guys know, I am a huge Elliot Anderson fan. I've been bigging up Elliot Anderson for a while. I've been saying it a million times. United need to go all out for Elliot Anderson and make him number 1 transfer priority. We need to do everything we can to try and get a deal for Elliot Anderson done. And Man United are listening. Man United are taking notes. This is what's been said. Baleba remains high in United's list of midfield options, although Elliot Anderson has emerged as the priority target. Adam Wharton is also being looked at by United, which could impact Baleba's future. But what's been said now, and this has come out from a very reliable outlet, is Elliot Anderson has emerged as the priority. We've been saying this. This has come out from Laurie Whitwell. Laurie Whitwell is a very good source of information. You know, this is the news that we need here. This is big news. This is big transfer news. But this has come from Laurie Whitwell. Laurie Whitwell is a very good source of information. He's one of the better people in the Manchester United space. And he's now come out and said, Elliot Anderson is number one. Elliot Anderson is the priority. Baleba has been the priority this whole time. Baleba's been the priority midfielder the whole time. But we've been saying recently, as much as I liked Baleba, when I look at his performances this season and look at Elliot Anderson needs to come priority. Elliot Anderson could be that next Declan Rice. And all of a sudden, Elliot Anderson is becoming priority. And that's exactly what we need to see from Manchester United. Now, as Josh said here, Anderson probably won't be until the summer. Bruno, Guy, and Casemiro could be out first. Now, I think it will be Casemiro out for Anderson in the summer. João Gomez in for Ugarte. We see what happens with Bruno, but I think if we sell Bruno, we'll go for maybe Adam Wharton because of his ability on the ball. But Anderson could be the missing link for Man United in England. I also think Anderson and Maino would complement each other very, very well. I think it would complement each other very, very well. Now, people have said we should get Adam Wharton. He plays in Glasner's formation, which is the same. Yes, Adam Wharton plays in the same formation, but Adam Wharton's role at Crystal Palace would be so different to Adam Wharton's role at Man United. I like Adam Wharton. I think he's fantastic on the ball. I think he's phenomenal. I would absolutely love Adam Wharton at Man United, but I think Ruben Amorim's system would ruin Adam Wharton because they wouldn't get the best out of Adam Wharton's qualities on the ball. It would demand so much from him off the ball, which he's good at doing, but Adam Wharton isn't quite as good as a Declan Rice or a Tonali or a Caicedo off the ball. He's known for his ability on the ball. He's a bit like Maino, who's great on the ball, but struggling off the ball in Amorim's system. I think Wharton is good off the ball, but I just worry that Ruben Amorim's system would make Adam Wharton look average, and it would not get the best out of Adam Wharton. But I really like Adam Wharton. But I think Elliot Anderson could do it in Amorim's system. He's like a Declan Rice. I think Elliot Anderson, Declan Rice, Moises Caicedo, Sandro Tonali, they're the few kind of players I think can do it in Ruben Amorim's system. If not, I think it's almost too demanding for some players. But I would love Adam Wharton. For me, to be honest, I think if you could get Anderson and Wharton, that would be great. Anderson, Wharton, João Gomez and Maino as our four midfield options would be unreal. You've got João Gomez and Anderson to do defensive stuff. Maino and Wharton to do the stuff on the board would be great. But I do worry about how Amorim would set that up and use that to get the best out of those players. There is that fear. Wharton would suffer at this club a lot. Look at Weaver at Brighton. Amorim would make Wharton a centre back. You never know. Anderson's the complete midfielder. He's going to be massive. Anderson is a must. Anderson is a must. The problem with Anderson is that everybody wants him now because he's been so good. And look, City wanted Declan Rice. He went to Arsenal. City are going to want Elliot Anderson. Forest are aware of interest from Man United. It would take a lofty price for Forest to consider selling the 29-year-old. While formal club-to-club talks have yet to occur with any suitor, every player has a price, and if Anderson's rise continues, the attempts to price him from Forest are only likely to intensify. But David Ornstein has confirmed we have interest in Elliot Anderson. David Ornstein has come out and confirmed we have interest in Elliot Anderson. Laurie Whitwell has now said that Elliot Anderson is the primary target. So Anderson is now wanted by United. Anderson is now Manchester United's primary target. And Manchester United will be going for Elliot Anderson. We have this big problem though. We have greedy 115 should hopefully get a transfer ban next door, wanting to make sure that doesn't happen. The team with Rodri and Nico Gonzalez. And Nico Gonzalez has stepped in for Rodri and done a phenomenal job. That's not good enough for them. They also want Elliot Anderson because they're greedy, because they've got owners that are ambitious. They've not won the Premier League last year. They didn't win a trophy last year. They might not win a trophy this year. That'll be 2 trophyless seasons for City, and they'll want to spend another 500 million. They've got ambitious owners. Yes, Rodri hasn't played much. He's had injury issues, but Nico Gonzalez has been fantastic. They have Reinders, but that's not enough. They want another £100 million midfielder, and they want Elliot Anderson. Man City are ready to make Elliot Anderson one of their top targets in 2026. Man United are also interested. It's going to be between the Manchester clubs for Elliot Anderson. Manchester City can offer him stability, an easier job, more guaranteed potential success. Potentially could be a better and safer move for his career. But Manchester United offers him the opportunity to go to a big club and be the guy to turn it around, to be the guy to build success. You can make it at Man City and you're great and it's secure, but if you make it at Manchester United, you're a different level of good. Manchester United have history. Now he's a Newcastle boy, so unlike Bruno and Cunha, he's not going to pick us because he's a Man United fan. We need to have a good season to prove to Elliot Anderson that we're building a project that's worth joining, that he's worth being a part of. Because he might see Man United as a sinking ship and Man City as a safe bet. We need to say, look, we're Man United, they're Man City. We're Man United, we are the bigger club. We've got 10 times the fan base they have. We have 10 times the history. If you win with us, it's a bigger achievement. Look at them. Let's hope they get a transfer ban. They could get points deduction. We need to do what we can, because I think Elliot Anderson could pick Manchester City over Manchester United because it's a safe bet. The one thing we can say is, if you come to Man United, you're the main man. If you go to Man City, you're still competing with the likes of Nico Gonzalez and Rodri and Reinders. If you come to Man United, you're instantly there. You're instantly the main guy. I'm just hoping City get a transfer ban. I'm hoping something happens with these City charges and they get a big transfer ban, because I'm worried that Manchester City will beat us to Elliot Anderson. I'm worried about it. He's 23. It is a safer bet to go to Manchester City. But look, Declan Rice went to Arsenal. He has every right to choose Pep over Amorim. You wouldn't blame him. Who would he replace in that City midfield? That's the issue. Game time. I mean, the only thing we have over City, I think, is saying you will 100% play and be the main guy in midfield and the first name on the team sheet. He's not guaranteed that at Man United. Exactly. City is great. Why can't Man United be greedy and go for all three? Exactly. We need the same level of greed and ambition as City. Arsenal have been doing it lately. Arsenal have been doing what City have done for years lately. Arsenal had Gabriel and Saliba, and they still went and brought Hincapié and Mosquera in. Two of the best young centre-backs in, because when Gabriel and Saliba are injured, they've now got 4 elite-level centre-backs. That's what Manchester City used to do. They've got 2 elite-level midfielders. They want a third one. With Man United, when we have one elite player, we leave it. That's fine. We need to be like City and like Arsenal. We don't just need Elliot Anderson. I want Elliot Anderson and I want Adam Wharton and I want João Gomez and I want a left wing back and I want a young centre back. And do you know what I mean? Maybe Semenyo. I want us to be greedy like Arsenal. I want us to be greedy like City, because people will say, but you spend a lot of money, you are greedy. We do. But we brought 4 players in this summer. Arsenal went and brought Subamende, Norgard, Hincapié, Madueke, Gyökeres, Eze, Mosquera, all in. I want to see a big summer of 6-7 signings. I want to see us have that City Arsenal level greed. Now, we can't do that if we're not in Europe next season because we don't have the depth to promise them more minutes. But we need to make sure we're at least in the Europa League next season and we're bringing in 6-7 huge names, 6-7 names, and 3 of which are big names. I want to see us be greedy. I want to see Elliot Anderson. I want to see Adam Wharton. I want to see potentially Baleba. I want to see a midfield transformed. You look at Liverpool. They lost Keita, Henderson, Fabinho, and I don't think it was Wijnaldum. I think Wijnaldum went the summer before. I think Oxlade-Chamberlain left. Liverpool lost 4 midfielders in one window, and they went to sign 4. They signed Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Endo. I want a Liverpool-esque window where we go and sign 2-3 midfielders. We go and sign a wing-back. We go and sign a centre-back and another attacking player, depending on who the manager is. People say Pep will be gone soon. Maybe they'll be hit with charges. Maybe they'll be hit with a transfer ban. That would be great to see. But yeah, I think Anderson is the guy that we keep forgetting to sign. We forgot to get Moises Caicedo years ago. We forgot to get Declan Rice a couple of years ago. We cannot forget to get Elliot Anderson. Like, for me, he's that guy. He's that guy. Anderson, he's a walking spell. The way he plays, the calm he carries, the face carved by the football gods themselves. We have to sign him. It's like a love letter, that. But look, he's shown on the ball how good he can be at England when he's expected to dictate the ball. Off the ball, he's a monster. That game for Nottingham Forest against us, he was a monster. He's adaptable. He's a monster. He is that next Sandro Tonali, Declan Rice, Moises Caicedo midfielder that this system desperately needs. If Aaron's going to make it work, he needs one of those mental guys in the midfield. He absolutely needs it. And the good thing about Man United is we probably won't be able to get Elliot Anderson in January, but we should try with competition. But Man United can spend. Man United can secretly spend in January, and Man United have a lot more money than they're letting people know. I'm going to tell you that now. Manchester United are prepared to make mid-season additions. United are more conscious than Liverpool of their PSR position, but that's not to say January additions are ruled out. We know that Man United, if the opportunity presents itself, will spend in January. We don't know if we can get Elliot Anderson in January. We don't know if we can get this or that player in January. But it has been confirmed Manchester United will be going to do business in January and can spend in January. Baller says he rates Edison. I don't rate Edison. I just think he's a better looking guy. But there's rumours of us talking about Edison and getting him in January. I personally prefer João Gomez. But Man United can make mid-season additions. We can make mid-season moves. We can make mid-season additions. And we have the money. We can't probably do Anderson in the summer. We can't do Anderson until the summer, likely. We probably can't do someone like Belaber or Wharton until the summer. But if there's somebody available in January that we can do, we will do it. Now, there is talk of it being João Gomez, us having talked to João Gomez. David Ornstein is downplaying that. But there is talk of us bringing in João Gomez. There is talk of us challenging Liverpool for Semenyo. It'll be interesting to see. Could we smoke Liverpool out of the water and go get Gay? I mean, we're above Liverpool in the league. We could be saying, why do you want to join that crap club? We're better than them. We could say that. Probably not going to work. I think his mind is set on Liverpool. But yeah, I mean, the one thing with Edison is he's got better ball carrying. He's got better ball carrying than Agate. He's better on the goal than Agate, but he's an Agate replacement. Edison is a bench option. João Gomez is a bench option. Is good, but I think we need different. I think Anderson's got to be the main midfielder. The second midfielder can be a João Gomez. Anyway, let's talk about other stories. But Elliot Anderson, we have to go all out. But why can Man United spend big, and why do Man United have bigger plans than we think? So Rashford and Højlund's exits will bring in 66 million in the summer to United, plus wages saved, that's 80 million freed up there. Sancho will finally leave, so that's about 5-6 million extra in the bank. Anana could leave, that's a couple million extra in the bank. Casemiro and Maguire exits could save 25 million a year in wages. So if Casemiro, Maguire, Rashford and Højlund all go, that's over 100 million saved. United will look to get money for Agate. They could move on Delo. Bruno could go. There's talk of Bruno Fernandes having a release clause. So Bruno could go. It has been said that clubs in Europe and Saudi are monitoring Bruno's situation. A summer move remains a possibility. So there's obviously talk that Bruno could go. Man United do have money coming in. Unless Rashford's loan goes really bad and Højlund's loan goes really bad from now on, Manchester United have decent money coming in. Manchester United can spend big. Man United trying to keep it secret and whatnot, but Man United have money. Man United can spend big, and Man United can do stuff in January. Man United in January depends on opportunity. Manchester United in the summer can go big, and I think they will go. I think we'll sign 3 midfielders because, to be honest, I think Bruno Fernandes is going to leave. There's clubs in Europe like Bayern Munich monitoring him. There's clubs in Saudi monitoring him. I think Bruno might want to go and spend the last 2 years of his career at a Bayern Munich and win some actual silverware, because he ain't going to do that at Manchester United if we have another bad season. And if Amarin stays, he ain't going to do that because he doesn't suit the system. But it has been said by Simon Stone, he's a very good journalist and a very credible source of information. He has revealed there is a secret release clause in Bruno's contract and said it's understood Bruno Fernandes' contract, which expires in 2027 with an option of additional year, includes a clause that would allow him to join a club outside of England for 56.68 million, provided it's triggered early enough, so 57 million pounds, which I think is way too cheap. Imagine Bruno goes to Bayern for 57 million pounds. I think we should be getting at least 80 million for Bruno Fernandes. I get his age, but Bruno going for 57 million pounds. I mean, unless you want to do a swap deal, Bruno Fernandes for Harry Kane, potentially we can have a conversation about it, because Harry Kane probably suits what we need long-term more. Not that it's a long-term deal, but we need a striker. Whereas Bruno, I love Bruno, he's our best player. I think if we sell Bruno, we'll realise how good he was. And I don't think Bruno's going to get the real appreciation he deserves from Man United fans until he leaves, because I think Bruno is so much better than he gets credit for. I do look at Bruno and I think he doesn't suit Amarin's system long-term. United will probably cash in on him, but I think that we should be getting 75, 80 million. I think 56 million is, for me, that release clause is a bit of a joke. That release clause is a little bit of a joke, that we could be getting 57 million pounds for Bruno Fernandes. But that 57 million pounds plus the huge amount of wages we save comes to about 75 million when you really deep it. That's 75 million from Bruno, that 100 million from the other players. That can get you Wharton and that can get you Belaber. And that is how you rebuild a midfield. Sorry, Anderson and Wharton, or Belaber and Anderson. Sorry, that's how you rebuild a midfield. But one of those signings has got to be Elliot Anderson. Another Harry Kane, if he does that, why not? We've got a good relationship with Bayern because it's linked to Mazraoui. I would go for Harry Kane. Look, if you look at our best striker signings, Zlatan old, Ronaldo old, Cavani old, what do? They all score goals. Højlund didn't score goals. Sesko's not quite scoring goals. Xerxes not quite scoring goals. For me, the perfect summer for me is Elliot Anderson before anyone else. Then you go for another midfield signing, whether it's Wharton, whether it's Baleba, whether it's João Gomez, I don't care. You get Elliot Anderson, you get another midfielder in that's a good midfielder. Then you go for Harry Kane and you say, this is 2 years. Sesko can learn from this guy. We can rotate him with Sesko. We might have to sell Xerxes to get the funds to do that, but you get Harry Kane for 2 years because it will be worth it. I then say go for Semenyo. I then say look at Jeremy Jackett, that young centre-back. I then say Bish Bash Bosh. That would be a lovely transfer window. Absolutely lovely transfer window. I then also look at Amron and think, if you have a crap season this year, you won't be the manager to manage that squad. I want a good manager. I want a back four. I want to see the best of these players. I want to see Maino, Anderson together. I think that would work so well. I think it would work so well. Kane is getting 0 goals in this team and system. Kane will get less goals than he gets at Bayern Munich for obvious reasons. But look, Kane is so good. Kane is one of those players that he will just find more. He will find ways to score goals. I think Sesko doesn't get helped by lack of service. I think Højlund didn't get helped by lack of service. Same with Xerxes. But I think Kane is that quality of player where he's just world class. He's just world class. Do you know what I mean? It's Amron you want out within the next 2 games. You'll be begging for him gone, my word. Well, to be honest, if we lose to Crystal Palace, which I think is a possibility because they are a bit of a bogey team, when we will look at those 3 wins in a row and say, was it a bit of a blip? Like, this is the worst ever Liverpool side that we beat. Sunderland, a newly promoted side at home. I know they've been good this season, but we should be winning that game. And Brighton that have been hit and miss. We have Crystal Palace, then West Ham, then Wolves. Crystal Palace, West Ham, Wolves. If we went and didn't win these next 3 games, I think Amron is a goner. Because then we got AFCON, and when the players were AFCON, it's Bournemouth, Villa, Newcastle, Wolves. Then you got Leeds. I mean, these next 3 games, if Ruben Amron doesn't... I think Ruben Amron has to win 2 of these next 3 games. He has to win 2. You've got Wolves and West Ham. If he doesn't, maybe the pressure's on a little bit. Maybe the pressure's on. Kane could still break the Premier League goal scoring record if he comes back. He could. What just beat Palace and the noise will subside? Well, I hope you're correct. You can't buy victories. Already tried with Sesko and Buma and Cunha. It doesn't work like that. You can buy improvement, but you can't buy victories. The manager needs to do better. We've got better attacking players now. We now need to see better tactics, better adaptations from the manager. We need to see better effort from the players. That's what we need to see. West Ham are on the rise of Nuno, I agree. Big up to Gaz. Big up to everybody tuning in. In terms of other news, United Frenzy revealed that JJ Gabriel was involved in first team training, as was Shea Lacey, Jim Thwaite, Gobble Kokonki, and Noah Ajayi were all involved in United first team training today. A lot of youngsters involved and could be called up to the senior squad ahead of the weekend as well, which is interesting there. Obviously, no Cunha, no Sesko, no Maguire. We could be seeing the likes of Shea Lacey on the bench. JJ Gabriel, I think, is too young to make the bench. And that as well. Paul Scholes calls out the lack of minutes from Maino. I agree. I think Maino should be getting more minutes, 100%. Am I worried that Cunha's injured a little bit? But apparently he should be back for the game after. So not super worried because he should be back relatively soon. But listen, people, I want to thank everyone for watching today's 30-minute live show. Smash the likes on the way out. See you next time. Bye.